What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the podcast. Final episode of the year for the channel. I am your host, Charlie, and with me, as always, Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
Why, hello, Charlie.
Ah, it's the end of December.
We made it through 2021.
If everyone's listening to this, yes, we just about did because we are recording this before Christmas.
We are.
So asteroid could hit the planet, but no one would hear this, so I think we're safe. So yeah, this is the final episode for the year. Not quite the year anniversary for the podcast. That's in January,
Yep.
but for 2021, this will be the final.
What a hell of a way to go out on with aliens.
Oh yeah. So
Big old teeth, some big old gooiness, some slime.
I so we have we've we're still trying to find our footing with the show, kind of finding our niche. And I almost think we're on to something here because we're now 2 for 2 on movies neither of us had seen and kind of forgotten about, and then we end up watching it going, "That was amazing. Why did I not watch this when I was younger?" You know, or at least I can say that because I
You could
absolutely
say that
love this movie.
I feel with this movie the way that my parents probably feel about me, where they're not quite disappointed, but they're also just like, why? So that's
I
how
know
I feel.
I know why. I totally do, but, we'll clue in the people that maybe didn't look at the picture, but we are doing Deadly Spawn. Uh, this is a movie I happen to just pick out based on cover art when I was doing research for From Beyond, and this one popped up, and I was like, "I like this cover. Look at these aliens. This looks really, really good. 1983, rated R. I'm gonna buy it." And I told Nate about it, and it was
Yeah,
like
you
it was.
sent it over my way, and I was like, yeah, this cover art looks great. I'm definitely down for this.
I think it was only like $12 or
10
$13
bucks,
when we
something like
bought it.
that. Now,
Yeah.
one of the cool things too is when you watch this, it's been restored completely and it looks great,
Oh, I love that look.
especially for how low of budget this film was. Synapse Films did the
Yeah,
restoration. They're kind of a small company, but they're known. They did Suspiria.
yeah.
They did the Blu-ray and the 4K of it. They did Demons 1 and 2. If you've been to a horror convention, you've seen these guys with
Mhm.
their like sleazy films. I bought another one from them called Street Trash that
Yeah.
has a wonderful transfer as well. But you're getting bottom of the barrel sludge schlock from them. Like
You
just
are.
when
You
you
are.
buy from them, be cautious of what you're going to be in for. There's a reason why you have not heard of some of these movies.
And that's another thing I wanna talk about a little bit later, but yeah, I got this, and I never heard of Synopsis till I got it, but thankfully, they gave me this, like, 1-pound booklet, it feels like, inside the DVD
Oh
case.
yeah. And it gives you a good chance of their catalog and like if you see something that you want to purchase at a con because I've talked to these guys before. They're like, "Yeah, just message us and we'll bring it at the con. We'll bring like 3 or 4 copies that way you have a chance to get
Nice.
one." Yeah.
No,
I
that's awesome, and they did
I've
this
talked to
in
those guys a few
2000
times.
they did this in 2004 was
They
when
did,
did
and the
this one.
commentary track was from 2003, so the commentary itself is nearly 20 years old. This movie is damn near 40 years old at this point.
Thanks for making me feel old, Nate.
It just kinda blows my mind.
I was 3 years old when this movie came out. Thank
I
you.
was not even of existence.
No, no, you weren't. But, no, so this one okay, I kinda thought Nate might have dug this movie a little bit more, kinda like what I
No,
did,
I
but,
still dig this movie. Um,
I have caveats about what I like and what I don't like, but also, this movie has a certain charm to it that I couldn't take my eyes off of this movie.
I
Let me
felt
just
like
put it like that.
it needed more charm. Like, it's one of those, like to me, this was a movie that could have been a cult classic and was almost there, and I don't it's I
I
appreciate for what they did, like, it's so hard. I was, like, one step forward, one step back with me the entire time.
I don't okay, we have plenty to talk about
We
because
have plenty to
I
get
wanna
through.
know why that. Um, but, yeah, as we're recording this, we haven't even made it through Christmas, so hopefully when you guys hear this, everyone had a good Christmas, lots of food, got everything you wanted or didn't want, or however you wanted to celebrate it or not celebrate it,
Hopefully,
so
you're not devoured by a deadly spawn.
or if you were, kudos to you, you're one of
Yeah,
the
you
lucky
went out like a
ones.
champ, I hope.
Yeah. That's it, man, that's it. Now, so let's, I say we just go ahead and hit them with this. You cannot deny this trailer, though.
Oh, this trailer is perfect 80s.
I love this trailer. I love the voice of the trailer guy in this. And this was you. We'll play it, and then we'll talk about what I told Nate earlier. That I feel like this movie is kind of the start of a certain thing we've brought up before in the show. So here is the trailer for the Deadly Spawn.
What was that? First, there was the invasion of the body snatchers. Then there was Alien. Now there is the deadly spawn. It began with a meteor crashing to Earth. No one knew the mystery of the mutant spores it contained. Now they are free. They will grow and reproduce rapidly, eating anything and anyone in their path. Something. The deadly spawn. The nightmare is just beginning. What do you do when unknown terror surrounds you? What do you do when there is no escape? Nowhere to hide from being eaten alive.
What the was that?
The deadly spawn. They just keep multiplying like demon seed. The deadly spawn, extraterrestrial terror. They're full of surprises. And the best is yet to come.
Let it go! Let it go! There's no such thing!
Can anything stop these strange creatures? The movie real science fiction fans have been waiting for. The Deadly Spawn wants you to see them at this theater soon. They need every person they can get. New from 21st Century Distribution. Rated R.
The science fiction movie every fan's been waiting for.
Yeah, what are you? A poser, you stupid sci-fi non-real fan nerd dork?
Do you even sci-fi, bro?
Yeah, do you even? It was like
Oh,
this trailer guy's insulting you as you're watching it.
oh yeah. He's like, I dare you. You know what? You're not good enough for this movie. Don't
Yeah,
even
actually,
bother
don't
coming to
even
this
go
movie.
into the 50 theaters that went and played this.
I think that's a stretch. I don't know
No,
if
it
it
was
was.
actually
Was did
it
you
got
find it?
played in 50 theaters.
That's
Fun
awesome.
fact, this movie actually opened up the same weekend as The Evil Dead. So, the directors actually got to meet or the director got to meet Sam Raimi, and they exchanged, like, movie posters and stuff, and one went on to make Spider-Man, and the other one went on to, do nothing.
N- Zero, nothing.
Literally nothing. Everyone that's involved with this movie has not done much except for one Tim Hildebrandt. And Charlie, do you want to let the good people know why that name is pretty big to us nerds?
Well, to real sci-fi fans,
Yeah, to
you
real
know,
sci-fi fans, none of those posers. Yeah,
none
you
of those
turn this podcast off,
none of
dorks.
those poser sci-fi fans. No, Tim Hildebrandt is quite famous for his fantasy and sci-fi artwork on numerous, books and movie posters. one movie poster in particular, which is the original 1977 Star Wars: A New Hope.
The classic Vader in the background, Luke
Yeah,
and Leia up front, the X-wings that are kind of swooping in to the
kind
left.
kind of a big deal, and
Yeah,
he's listed on for Clash of the Titans in 1981. A lot of J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings artwork, Marvel trading cards.
Magic the
Yep,
Gathering.
Magic the
Um,
Gathering.
him and his brother Greg, when you see their artwork, it's like, oh shit, I definitely know that.
Yes,
And they did the movie poster for this as well, which is what caught Charlie and I's
it,
eye.
it's what made me
So
want to watch this.
I had
100%.
no idea they were involved when, it was sent over.
No.
So that was a cool thing to learn. And the creature itself was made by a guy named John Dodds, who's given a story credit.
Hmm.
Um, but even he hasn't really done much. I think he does play work now.
Yeah, this just seemed like a project that a group of people just said, "Yeah, we can do this," and they
And
all
it
went and
really
did it.
was because this film
Yeah,
was made, they think, between 25,000 and $32,000. And it took 3 years to make.
yeah.
They
Uh,
literally shot this on the weekends. Um, Tim Hildebrandt's son is, the main character, the main boy in this,
our
our
hero of the
hero.
movie.
Yes, and, he got cast because he was there every day.
Yeah,
So that's the reason why he got the role, basically, while everyone else had to fly or come in every weekend. Took them 3 years to get this thing made. Even then, there was a moment where Douglas McCowan, the director, didn't even think the movie was, ever going to see daylight until one day he's like, "Oh, they're showing my movie across the street from the deli I'm working."
yeah, yeah. He's working at a deli, and he was the director of this movie. That
Yeah, because, the producer, Ted Bohos, from what I can gather, no one's a big fan of him because he even went and made, his own sequel to this.
Yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But there is an official, unofficial
Yeah.
sequel
There
to
seems
this
to be
movie.
some friction between Ted Bohos and the rest of the entire crew almost. So I could not find why, but on the commentary, it's definitely joked around about oh yeah, Ted did everything. Oh yeah, Ted definitely,
Yeah.
takes credit for everything. So very interesting and curious there.
Yeah, and
Um,
this movie is, I guess, one of the reasons why it probably struck me so much was I'm watching an independent film that's, like Nate said, almost 40 years old. That I fell in love with what they were doing. You
as
know,
soon as it opens up, I was like, oh, this looks like a lost episode of Land of the Lost, instantly. And I was like, all right, cool. We're going for that 50s, 60s monster feel.
and they did, and so when this movie opens, we're not going to synopsize this whole movie. We're going to let Nate do his thing here in a minute. The opening scene of the farmhouse, let's say, because this movie opens with the meteor crashing, but seeing that set piece, and I'm going, is that the direction we're going with this? Because it was obviously model work.
Yeah.
And then you don't see that same shot again till the end, which we'll talk about when we get closer to the end of it. And I had this like, I get it. I understand now why that shot had to be in there, because I'm watching this whole movie still going, I don't understand that opening model shot of the house, because we see the outside of the house. We see the inside of the house. Fun fact, this was Tim Hiddlebrandt's house.
Yeah. This was his actual house. And it was also the director's, Douglas's house as well. So
Yeah.
they kind of had to go back and forth between different basements because one guy's like, yeah, I had a basement where you didn't have to duck and you could
Yeah.
actually shoot
So
it. I had a
yeah.
basement where it looked a little bit creepier. There's still the bloodstains on the wall because we used too much material because we didn't know what we were
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. And that's apparent, but there's also some really cool in ingenuity in this movie that
And that's the charm of this is, and instantly 3 people get eaten in this movie. And
I
I'm
love it.
Like,
Four people almost get instantly
yeah,
eaten.
yeah, like instantly, and
Everyone we're introduced to gets eaten.
after eating people, and I'm like, honestly, I get it. If I was eating that many people, I'd still probably be hungry too. Human flesh must devour. Um,
Yeah, it's an insatiable hunger. It's an alien. It's obviously it's you're supposed to think that it gets bigger as it eats
yeah, and
people.
honestly, this movie could have been an hour and 20 minutes of random people heading into the basement and being devoured.
I would have watched every second of that
That
too.
is kind of like, as it kept going, I was like, well, just like keep bringing in new people, like new neighbors that have to just go to the basement for some reason. The police have to go in the basement. The firemen, like, just keep it the do 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 do, and they just all get devoured.
I, it is so close to already being that though. I mean, I think a total of three people actually die inside the basement after the first two get killed when the meteor lands and they try to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
So this oh god, I can't wait. Let's do our things though first. So we've talked a little
Yes.
bit about budget. We've talked a little bit about the director. Go ahead and hit us with our the trailer. Kind of set everything up for us. That's all we needed to know was the trailer, but everyone wants it. Let's give them what the people pay for, which they don't pay. Is Nate's 3 sentence synopsis.
There's not a thing you can do about them. Their arrival could very well mean our extinction. They have no intention on phoning home.
I love it. I love it. I love the little. We've now added ET into their promo trailer of
Yeah.
every other alien movie they
Yeah.
could name.
Just trying to think of any alien movie they weren't naming.
And that's kind of my thing is I watched the trailer as we were getting ready for the show, and I was like, man, this is like the Walmart knockoff DVDs before that was a thing. It's like let's try to ride the coattails of
Of the
every
thing.
popular movie. Yeah. Oh, there is a complete thing where I feel like it's a total throwback to the thing at the end of this.
Well, that's the
Um,
thing too. It's like this technically beat the thing because they started filming in 1980. It didn't get released
yeah,
till 83. It just took forever. Like the main hero, he was I think it was 11, 12, and 13 when filming it.
and it makes sense. You can almost see that.
And yeah, there's definitely parts in the movie where they're like, "Oh, now he's 13, now he's back to 11." You could tell like he's slightly aged just a little, but
Yeah,
it's just funny to see it.
and I like his name was Charles, so
Yeah.
I had a special connection with the kid
There
there.
you go.
That made me happy about that. But this movie, okay, I this is really hard to get kind of started on talking about because this not everyone knows about this movie. I didn't know about this movie because I've never seen that VHS cover.
No,
I never
I've
saw
never.
this at the rental stores.
And there's a pretty big reason why it didn't get a VHS release.
Oh, it didn't get a
It
VHS
never got a
release?
VHS release. So basically this movie was like rediscovered, and then I do think some of the producers and stuff were had a hand with Synapse and getting it transferred over, but
So it went
it
from film to DVD.
basically that's why
Hmm.
we don't remember this movie.
Well, that really does explain it because I have a feeling I would have rented this movie based on
On the
the
cover
cover
alone.
art. I mean, the
And
cover art is fantastic. So if you follow the group or Instagram, we'll obviously have it up already where
yeah,
everyone's seen it.
the
But
film was shot on 16 millimeter film. Everyone worked on this movie for free. And
oh
when they
yeah,
did show it in theaters, it was 35 millimeter widescreen enhanced. So
hmm
back in the day, what that would do then is you would take the very square looking film that 16 millimeter does, and when you stretch it, it's going to give that funky look, but you're
yeah.
also going to see the stuff that you're not supposed to see. Mainly mean like the puppeteer's hands on the monsters and stuff like that. This restoration goes back to the 16 millimeter, and it's the perfect square where
Yeah,
your widescreen isn't top to bottom, it's left to right.
and I love that. I knew that's what it was when I was watching the DVD. I was like, this feels like an old school
Yeah.
monster
And
movie.
we'll definitely have to share the trailer in the actual group, which we have not done before, only
No, we
because
should
there's
start sharing
so
trailers.
much graininess to the trailer that when you watch it, it's like as if you threw in a VCR, like a VHS onto your
Well,
TV.
the one I ripped the audio from, on YouTube is actually in HD.
Oh, okay.
So
The
it
one on the
still
DVD is straight up old school,
well, it
faded
still
picture, lines, you name it.
it
I
still
thought I'd
has
hit
the
tracking on my Xbox controller.
it still has like the graininess to it, but it's cleaner. You'll have to watch it later, and we'll try and put that up on the
Yeah,
group.
we will start putting those up though. That's not a bad
We
idea,
should start
honestly.
putting the
Yeah.
trailers up, especially
Look at
if
us,
it's
we're
a
thinking
trailer.
while we're recording.
That's right, especially if it's a trailer that has zero audio whatsoever,
Yeah.
because that plays off so well.
Yeah, it
So,
does.
no, this movie almost feels like a love letter to older monster movies, and it really kind of even does that as the movie progresses. There's so many little things they do that remind you of the older, like Tarantula or The Thing from Beyond and all these type of old 50s and 60s monster movies that a certain podcast we're friends with absolutely love.
Yeah, I feel like a certain podcast would know a lot and would give you a lot of information and history about these monsters.
Yeah, so what caught my eye immediately was we get a scene with Charlie in his room, and they call him Charles, but I'm calling him Charlie because that's me. And he is watching a monster movie on television. It's super, super loud. Well, I immediately see an original Godzilla toy with the fists that launch and everything else out of it. He had a Gorn from Star Trek mask on his dresser next to his bed. Uh, Original King Kong poster, the Spider movie poster, Green Slime, and Frankenstein. And there were a ton more posters that I couldn't even make out, or I'm sure if someone that knows them like Sludge or Ruben from Monster Movie Stomp Down, they would be like, "Oh yeah, that's that movie," or
Oh,
that's this one. I know
that
what that
this
one
would
is
be
100%.
Easter egg candy for them.
This is Easter eggs before Easter eggs was a thing, and I like that. I really
Yeah.
do.
The kills though. All the kills for such a low budget. And like the deadly spawn itself, mother spawn weighed like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's like cardboard, tubing, rubber cement,
Hmm.
and it looks really cool. It really does.
For practical actual built prop with real puppeteers, not professionally trained puppeteers,
No,
mind you.
these are
This
no
is
one is professionally trained in
no
this movie.
everyone. This is like guerrilla style filmmaking where they just went, how can we make this look cool? And they just tried things. It works so well for me.
There was shots where like the cinematographer's like, "Nah, you can't make that shot happen." And director's like, "All right, well, I'll just man the camera and I'll do it."
Yeah.
Like that's what they were doing. Like, "All right, well, we're just going to try it. Let's see."
So Nate watched the commentary, and I found a YouTube video of behind the scenes footage with no audio because obviously they were just filming with the film camera that didn't also collect audio as they were going. So it's just all these little silent movie shots, and it digs into the special effects a little bit more. And I don't know if you even saw it or heard about it on
No, I
the
didn't even know about that
commentary.
one.
So, and to stay on kind of our niche brand that we're doing, where we want to highlight the special effects, the people that are behind the camera, behind the scenes, making all of this ooey gooiness goodness.
Making these monsters come alive.
Yeah, so they we have so if anyone's ever seen the movie Slither that James Gunn did with the slugs that run around, infesting people's bodies, the little critters kind of look like that. Well, they have scenes where they're moving and they're kind of serpentining through the water,
They're very
or
like tadpole
very
slash
tadpole,
phallic, like little weird,
very phallic.
creepy, lots of
And
teeth.
so they had cut S-shaped grooves in the flooring or in something that they were filming on. So as they pulled the wire is moving in that serpentine movement, and the little thing is just tadpoling its way across the floor or in the water. There's a shot where it looks like they're coming through blood. They have a baking pan, a large baking pan sitting on a table filled with just enough blood, and they're pulling the little things across with the camera right on it for that close up. So it's like, okay, they didn't flood an entire section for
No,
this one
and there was
shot.
another scene with, a lot of blood in the basement where they did it in, like, a little kiddie pool as well.
They didn't kiddie pool. There, the one shot of the mother creature at the bottom, they have a lot of plastic down, and the basement's flooded. The whole movie, it's been raining this torrential rainstorm, obviously, so we can get wetness, which also is a way to hide things in the movie you don't want people to see. So I was like, creativity, I dig
Yeah.
it. Put it into the story. I totally dig it. I love it. And they in this these stills, country accent coming out hard right there,
You
guys.
damn Virginia.
I know, moonshine stills. Um, they were showing some of the behind the scenes, like with the face that gets ripped off, the mom's face,
Yeah,
where it was
Monster
in a
Flesh Tear, which is gonna be the name of my next death metal band,
oh,
and
so
then we're gonna have a chant, and it's gonna be chomp, chomp, chomp.
it's so good, and they're showing all these little like fishing string coming off of the prosthetic on her face going through the monster's mouth.
Yeah,
And so as they get closer, someone's pulling her skin off as the monster's biting down. That
it
shot alone, I was just like, "Holy shit." I
there
love it.
is, like, muscle underneath too, like, it's really
Yes.
impressive with what they did, and, like, instead of doing what other movies would do, which is just completely cut away and hear the scream, like, they zoom in on the
Which
flesh
is
getting ripped.
which I'll give them this. That's how this movie starts. So you're not 100% sure how how much gore you're gonna get in this movie.
Yeah,
S
because that could've been like, "Oh, well, there went all the budget."
Yeah. So the first 2 campers, when they find the meteor, the first one we see a little bit of blood splatter and his glasses on the ground. And then the guy in the tent, the creature gets inside there, and all we hear is rustling around, and then a bloody hand and arm come
Yeah.
out of the tent and grab the tree branch. Um, that's all we see. So I'm like, okay, you haven't lost me yet. I'm still paying attention. The dad goes down into the basement, and we're not revealed to the creature yet. And you get that like almost kind of evil deadish look, even though they were done at the same time, of him being shocked and taken aback and being grabbed and drug across the wet ground and some blood splatter. So
Yeah. It
the
kinda, like,
real
keeps it close at first,
it's
and
very close
then
to the
by the 4th
chest.
kill, it's like,
Oh,
"Now
they
we're
were
on."
they were like, it is on because she's down in this basement. It's dark as hell. There's blood splatter on the light bulb downstairs. It's so dark and wet. She doesn't realize a lot of this is blood or anything that's on the ground.
And we don't even
She
have the tiny, like, tadpoles
Yeah,
just
there's
yet.
no
This is
spawn
just
yet.
mother spawn.
And she turns around and the husband's hand lands on her shoulder. Like, it's me. And she's all
It's
like
Jurassic Park.
relieved.
It
Yeah.
is straight up Samuel L. Jackson's hand falling onto the shoulder.
Yeah.
That
And
is exactly what this scene was.
she turns around and the arm is coming out of the mouth of the mother spawn. And I'm like, yes. And you see the spawn for the first time too. And you're like, oh my God, I love this. And then it rips her face off. And I'm just like, I'm in.
Yeah,
I don't care where this movie goes. I am in. I'm there. And then the movie slows back down.
it
And
does, and
we
it has
rip
a weird tonal of, "Let's accelerate, let's slow down, let's
yeah,
accelerate, let's slow down," and a lot of that is because, 2 reasons. A, they didn't have a shooting script, so they were kinda just shooting on the fly on the weekend when they could, and B, there really wasn't a script anyway. They kinda had a story and just said, "We'll write lines as we go," which is kinda
which
one of my biggest complaints is I mean, until looking up that the kid's name was Charlie, I had no idea. I didn't know who anyone was in this movie, like,
really?
Yeah, like, I was
Yeah,
just
he
the
like
whole time
the brother screams his name at the end. Like, have you seen Charles? Did you hear Charles?
I just felt like maybe I should have watched it with subtitles on at some point, like
So I will say, as much as Synops did everything they could as far as visually, the audio,
a
they
lot of it,
worked
it's
with
like, I
what they
feel
had.
like the audio itself, they're probably was just like, "Yeah, we'll kinda phone parts of this in because we don't really care about the story," which you're not watching this for the story, but it's just
No,
it's hard to stay invested when the monster's not on the screen, for me.
I'll give you that. I was more like, I was kind of to the point where I was not expecting what you would normally expect when a monster should jump out in a movie. So I'm after how that opened with so many varying ways of doing a monster movie, I was kind of like, what are they going to do next?
Well, I do
What,
love that instead of, like, hiding the monster, they're like, "Well, hell, we built this damn thing, let's use him."
let's show it. Let's show the 20 other little ones that we have running
Yeah,
around that they
all at
infest the
once.
house. Oh, when it
Instead of, like,
starts,
we'll just use 1, we only built 1, but we're gonna, use clever camera tricks to make it look like there's 20, it's like, no, there's moments where there's, like, 30 of them on the walls, on the ground, biting people.
this movie really, like, there's no way James Gunn didn't watch this before doing Slither.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
especially
way,
because this was made in New Jersey.
yeah.
Troma being New Jersey, James Gunn originating from Troma, I guarantee he saw this.
And
Guarantee it.
again, I'm gonna say this again, Trauma, I feel like you're dropping the ball on a lot of movies. Why did you not pick up this movie? This had Trauma. This actually had a little bit better than Trauma on certain things, in my
Oh,
opinion,
yeah, I was
because
eating
it
watching
didn't
the
go
Alien
goofball.
Autopsy, which is my sci-fi metal band, but I highly recommend do not eat while watching the Alien Autopsy scene because it's gross.
So yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about was, so the teenagers, we get teenagers in this movie. They are science majors. One's more into like astronomy and stuff like that, and the girl is obviously biology. Well, they find one of these spawn laying out in the road dead. They don't know what it is. They're like, is it an eel? Is it a tadpole? Whatever. So they dissect this thing in the sink. So they've made a prop that could be cut open, and then there's inside guts.
And they
And
purposely made it to where there's nothing that you can recognize inside of it because they were thinking, well, it's an alien. You're not supposed to recognize like
right,
an oyster or something like that.
no. So, and there's like 3 layers to this
And they're
dissected
using just a tiny
spawn.
razor blade to cut it open.
And here's one of the cool things I saw in the no sound behind the scenes. So she is holding that little razor blade from, a straight razor. They have a tiny little tube
Yeah.
that is
They have like a
taped to
Tom
the,
Salvini tube
yeah,
to pump the
taped to
blood
the
like
back.
out.
Well, it's not even blood, it was slime, because there's no blood in these things.
Was that one slime?
Yeah, well,
Blech.
yeah, because I
Blech.
watched it's clear. So, and there's another reason I know there's no blood in this thing, and we'll get to that part in a little bit.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, Nate's already like, "Damn it, man! I'm gonna see dinner from last night." But it
Yeah.
had this little tube that went beside her arm, taped, and it's a legit razor. So she's actually holding a real razor, and it's just taped to the edge. So as she pulled it, somebody's running like a syringe, and as she pulls the razor blade through, there's this like clear goo coming out from the incision, and I'm like, "That's brilliant. That is in the trenches special effects right there."
That's definitely for the real sci-fi fans out there.
Yeah, there's none of you posers are like,
Yeah, you posers
turn this
wouldn't be able to
podcast off.
appreciate that.
You're
Yeah.
posers. We're poser podcasters. That's what we are. But
There's also a great scene because I feel like half the movie Charlie is in the basement
oh, he
because he goes
is
down there and I don't even remember why, but there was an
to
electrician
scare
that
the
had to go down there.
he went down to scare the electrician. He had
That's
his
right.
red
Yeah,
cape
he had like a
on and the
werewolf
mask.
mask or something, and
The
there's an
kids
electrician in the basement that he's going to scare.
Yeah, the kid's enamored with scaring people and monsters. So this is your old school house, and honestly, this is your old school in the '80s. They tape a sign to the front door saying, "Electrician, cellar door is open." And that's where the electrician is supposed to go and work on the electricity in this house. And he goes down, and Charlie decides, "I'm gonna go scare the shit out of this guy." And I'm like, "That's not a good
Instead,
idea because I'll throw a hammer at you. I don't care." I've had a kid sneak up
I'll
behind me
throw
before
you
to
into an
someone's
electrical
house,
box.
and it was everything I could not to slug that kid in the face. And you're like, "What the?" Like, okay, you need to go back upstairs. Where's your mom and dad? But Charlie goes down into the basement, and the electrician is like half eaten.
He's like a stub, a torso up, and there's a bunch of the baby ones like gnawing at him
Oh
from
yeah,
like his guts. And then his head freaking like rolls off. And like it rolls off. And the way it rolls is then the eyes are staring directly into Charlie,
yeah,
thus giving him the worst PTSD that this kid is ever going to have. And to make it even worse, these tiny little slugs then come up and start flesh ripping from the bone, which is another death metal band of mine. But we'll
yes.
keep getting into this.
And then he sees his mother, his
Yeah.
mother's body parts down there, and he realizes. So Charlie talks in this movie up until he runs into the monster, and Charlie doesn't talk for a very, very long time.
Yeah, because he's processing the horrific ordeal that he has to deal with. And he does stay in the basement for literally like half the movie. I was like, why the hell
Oh,
aren't you leaving yet?
he is like, and he's staring at the mother monster. So you're
And he's
like,
being so quiet that they're not even paying attention to him, which comes
right.
in later.
It comes in later, but it's also now we realize they're blind. We didn't know this,
Yeah,
so
they need
a la
sound.
Trimmers, they need sound. So this was pre-Trimmers. So
Yeah.
this movie predates a lot of cool tropes and sci-fi, you posers. But no, and Charlie has to figure out that it's only sound that they're drawn to. Which okay, now you're like, oh, that's why he's been quiet. Too bad he's been down there for like 15 minutes already, and you're like, I don't know why the kid's not dead. Like everyone else that went down there died, but Charlie in a
Instantly. I guess everyone
bright
else went
red
down
cape.
there with pots and pans essentially and just chanting and singing songs about how great it is to be in the basement on a Saturday morning,
Oh,
and
in
that's
the
why they all
wet,
got killed.
damp, moist basement. Ugh, that basement was so wet. It's just so much water on that floor and everywhere in that basement. And then he kept. So I'm going to give the kid credit. This is the only movie that Charlie ever did. This is probably his first movie, his last movie, because he was probably like, "Yeah, I'm never doing this again."
Yeah, he's
But
actually now a, lawyer for actors or something like that. So he
bravo,
got him in
man,
the right
bravo.
direction
But all you get is Charlie in the basement looking at things and turning his head and looking at
with
things.
his, like, fist clenched, like, "Alright, he's gonna throw hands, I guess, if something gets near
I
him."
was waiting, but it was like he would look up and he would see that the critters are running through the walls, and there would be like dust falling. And trust me, I've been in houses that are built like that. There's all kinds of crap that falls out of the walls. And there's a thing called balloon framing, which means those little critters could have started in the basement and ended up in the attic without any trouble whatsoever
Ugh.
because the walls are continuous all the way up. So again, these guys thought through, but it explains how all of a sudden these things are under floors, behind picture frames. They eat the uncle as he's taking a nap, which is another great gruesome
Yeah,
kill.
that shot, like, really shocked me too because, like, it's kinda out of nowhere, it's like, "Oh, homeboy's missing his eyeballs," like,
Yeah,
his,
it's like they're inside of
insides are
him.
kinda hanging out.
Yeah, no, that shot alone, I was like, oh, it just it's like they were like, okay, we did this. Now what can we do? Like,
Yeah,
okay, that and trust me, it keeps getting more and more gruesome as the kills happen. And there's not a huge kill count. Spoiler alert. You'll get it in
because there's not a
our
huge
Raining
cast.
Blood. There's not a huge budget either for all these
No.
kills. But this satisfied me gore wise. I was like, this is like a great amount of gore for this movie. And
And
just because someone didn't die don't mean they didn't get messed up.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
because we haven't gotten to the luncheon party, which
Yes, I was
is
gonna say, you know what? We should go to commercial break and come back
yeah.
to the Golden Girls dinner party.
Yes, we'll come back to the Golden Girls dinner party right after these messages from our network.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Here are the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D. From his times in the territories with PG 13 to his times in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Available now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all major podcast formats.
Welcome to the Monster Movie Stomp Down, where twice a month we review monster movies from all corners of the planet. Join me, Sludge.
I went to watch it the other night, and she's like, "Why are you watching this? You can quote this movie line for line." Like, that's very accurate.
My co-host Mark.
Don't ask me to do a stomp down on this because it's zero.
Okay, dude. Ruben, what's your stomp down rate?
And our brother from Texas, Ruben.
It's just, I'm like, wait a minute. They tricked me into watching this.
Yeah, that's what I felt like.
As we give you the history, our review, and the stomp down rating of some of the best and worst monster movies around. Available through the Podbean app, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Amazon. Make sure and check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy,
Kilmore Crites.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave,
I have the weirdest boner.
and Pete.
IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I that up. Try that again.
As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
And we're back.
Woo!
Now we get to the scene in the movie I didn't know I wanted so badly. And it
A
is the
scene that honestly made me feel bad.
I didn't, because if you listen, they're making vegan dishes. They actually say it. And then vegetarian.
Once again,
everything.
I had a hard time listening to anything that was not monster related.
I listened to the dialogue. Again, I never picked up my phone once. I could feel the smile on my face as I was watching this movie, because I'm just like, I'm taking it all in, and I am loving every ramp up this thing gave me, every little soft moment. So the aunt has to leave the house. She's one of the few that leaves the house in the rainstorm because she has to go to her mom's because she's having a vegetarian luncheon with the other girls, and it's like a one-upmanship type thing, and I love
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely very preppy.
So, well,
It's very,
it's
we are going to be eating tonight.
yes.
Yes.
We're having eggplants and
Oh,
leeks
excuse
and-
me, Charlie.
yes.
Do you have any gray poupon?
No, I have some brown mustard, but it's not great.
I
Can't
have
afford that
spicy.
stuff. Yeah, I have a little spice.
Yeah.
Why is it spicy? But so we get this like little separation from everything that's going on in the house, because everything's going crazy in the house. And we get to this little house party with the Golden Girls because 3 other women show up. So there's a total of 5 of them. And I looked at my wife because as soon as all the women come in, I just had flashbacks because my mom did quilt guild meetings with other little old ladies, and they would bring food and stuff, and how they came in the room, that's exactly what they sound
That
like when
sounds
they
so adorable.
oh my god, man. I was just sitting there, like, twitching, and I went, That's 100% accurate how they filmed that." And then they're all, like, showing off each other's dishes, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't? Ooh, ah," and I'm like, "Oh my god. I can't go back and relive all that. I was traumatized as a
And say,
child."
and Charlie had PTSD from a guild of quilts.
Look, there's 2 Charlies that suffered in this movie, and it was Charlie in the movie and Charlie watching the movie. And it's just because of that scene. I love the movie otherwise.
I
Um,
love the buildup we get around this scene, though,
I
because
have
it's
to give them
very dark humor.
super dark humor, and I love how they foreshadowed without shoving it in your face, because they're prepping up the sauce that she's gonna make, the green sauce, she calls it. And they don't do this, like, super zoom in on the food processor. It's just there in the shot almost every time they move the camera. So it's not like this, "Oh, I know what's gonna happen," that's thrown in your face, although I went, "Oh, there's a creature gonna end up in that food
Oh
processor."
yeah, definitely. Well, like as soon as it said food processor, I was like, oh, I know where this is going.
Because Jackie's like, "Look, that's an old food processor." I said, "Yep, and there's gonna be a spawn in it."
Oh yeah.
She she's like,
I
"Really?"
was
I said
expecting when they turned it on though that you were gonna have the goo go all over the place.
and again, I thought maybe we would get blood or some type of black. They
Yeah.
keep it where these things are clear on the inside, because if it didn't look like the green sauce, we wouldn't get the part that happens after. As they start eating their luncheon and they all are excited to taste the sauce. And you're like, I know what's in it. There's an alien in it. And I'm just like, how are they going to play? And they're all like taking bites and they're like,
They all
"Ew,
have this look on their face of
like
like,
there's something
that's not
wrong."
Italian dressing.
And they don't say anything till the mom that made it, she takes a bite and then she's like, "What is this?" And then all hell breaks loose.
And that's what's impressive about this because it isn't, like I said, one or two baby monsters. They're everywhere.
No, the daughter goes into the kitchen and we're following her for like, I don't know, 10, 15
Yeah,
seconds.
it's just enough for her to go in and grab a plate, basically, and she
Yeah,
comes back out.
and you don't hear anything until that she walks in that room and those women are losing their minds and they're all attacked by the creatures.
Yeah, you got some that are like on the couch, and you think like, oh, maybe it's like as if the stereotypical, oh, I saw a mouse, let me
A
jump on the
mouse, eat,
couch and
I'm
get
gonna
away from
jump
it.
up here.
But no, it's like I jumped on the couch, but this one's biting my damn ankle, and then you have
There's
like the
there's one on
little
the
old woman
ankle.
on the ground
The
who's
the
like,
mom had one through her face. It
yeah, like
wasn't just
attached to her
attached.
face,
It was in her cheek because they
while
had only the
also
butt of it hanging out.
biting like her ankle. These little
Yeah,
ankle biters are worse than a chihuahua.
and then it bit her toes because she's wearing open toe shoes, and I'm just like, "Oh god, this has to suck worse than dying from them." And then they, like, knock over pictures and all these, like,
And it just reveals
decorator stuff.
more.
There's, like, 30 of these things
Yeah,
inside the
it's
house.
so gross. And like the one woman who went to get the plate, she takes a fireplace poker and just starts stabbing them. And when she
Oh, I
stabs them,
love it.
we get like a little yeah.
It's this so look, we didn't grab drops because like I said, the audio was not great in here, but literally when the spawn are on the screen or we know they're coming, it's which is literally that. Someone in the microphone going that's all it is. To where Jackie even pointed it out. She goes, "Somebody's making that noise with their mouth in a microphone." I'm like, "Well, obviously, look at the budget." But bravo where they're spending the budget because I
Yeah,
am loving every second of this.
they were smart with what they were doing. And like
And
for
none of the
me,
old ladies die.
no, they all escape. I would have burned the house down instantly. Like that house is
Dude.
never good.
No, I was like, We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
It's finished." so we get the critter slash invasion of the slugs in the luncheon party, which again, the scene I didn't know I wanted so badly, and I can't imagine this movie without it now. It's probably my favorite scene, no, but my kills in the other stuff are my favorite like kills. But I love the lunch party so much in this movie. It's just so good.
And,
It's
like,
just
that's what leads us to our climax, I
I
guess you could
guess
say?
I guess the
Our 3rd
ramp
act?
up our ramp up to the climax.
Yeah, like, this
So,
leads to our 3rd act then, where we go back to the normal house. The
yeah.
teenagers realize that there's a giant monster.
Well, first they realize there's little critters because they find the uncle eaten from the inside
Yeah,
out,
his
and
eyeless corpse.
then the big monster is the most silent killer until someone sees it, and then it's the loudest thing on the planet.
Yeah, because it's like
It's
basically.
like, "Roar." But until you see it, it doesn't make noise. It's because it keeps sneaking up on people, and this thing is not small.
No, like, it takes up an entire doorway,
Yep.
and it's taller than a door, and it's trying to
Yeah, it's like
navigate through a
hunched down.
house.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hunched down, it slithers everywhere, it has goat hooves, deer hoof looking arms,
Tentacle arms.
tentacle arms, and other faces. It's not just one face. There's like 3 or 4 faces
Yeah.
attached to the one
And
face.
we're talking rows and rows of teeth, which makes me wonder, does it have a dental plan?
I think as a tooth fall it's like a shark. As a tooth falls out, there's another one to
There's
take its
another one that's
place.
gonna okay, that makes sense. Then
I
we
was
get probably
Go
my
ahead.
favorite kill in the movie during this whole sequence.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. We get decapitated girlfriend thrown from a
Oh my
second-story
god.
window. Now, I know what you're thinking, Charlie. This is another band name for Nate. No, no, this is actually a song title.
Oh, now we're getting into the songs. We have
Yeah, now we're
enough
getting to the
band
song
names.
titles. Yeah.
Decapitated girlfriend chucked out of a second story window. That rolls right off the tongue, man. I want to
It
hear some
really
lyrics of
does,
that lyric.
and when we say decapitated, we're talking the main head, like, launches at her, grabs her, and, like, yanks her
And
right in front of her friends,
you
and you see it all.
see the tearing, you see the head in its mouth, and then you see the headless torso get chucked out the window.
Thrown out, and when it lands, you get a great shot of, like,
Just
the
the
neck.
neck area
Yeah, that's
and
all bloody. And this is the girl that did the autopsy, so you're thinking she's gonna be the final girl.
yeah, you would think this is the main girl that
She's the smart
lives.
one, she's gonna be the one that kinda finishes it off, because Charlie's still dicking around in the basement.
Yeah, no one knows where Charlie is. He well, he made it up to the kitchen, but they don't know that
Yeah.
because he's trying to distract it with sound because we figured out they know sound now. And his contraption to distract this thing was hilarious with the radio through the paper towel holder so he could pull the radio to lure it,
Yeah.
and then it bit the radio and caught itself on fire. I was just like, "What? This is so
It's
insane,
very
but I
childlike,
love it."
though, because it doesn't finish its meals ever, so it's like as if you're to
No.
take a kid out to eat, it wants to order 3 different things on the menu, it has 2 McNuggets, and then it's full.
Yeah, but this thing just like, "Okay, now I want something else."
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, "No, I had electrician, now I want psychiatrist uncle, now I wanna eat some of these kids." But, did you see why the girlfriend died?
Um, I saw that she got hired on another project.
So she was not gonna be able to come back and finish filming her scenes that were written for the rest of the movie. So they had to figure out how to kill her off and still use all the footage they had of her. So they actually kill off the one that was supposed to survive, and the rando girl that shows up 3/4 of the way through the movie ends up being the girl that survives at the end and gets
Yeah, it's
away.
real strange to introduce a final character so, like, quickly towards the end, and she's the one that makes it. Because by all
She
means, she should have been the one to die.
Dude, she rings the doorbell, which distracts the creature from Charlie's trap, and she makes it all the way upstairs and doesn't see anything. She's like knocking on the bedroom door where everyone has barricaded the door. And she's like, "What's going on? Hi, hi." She's saying hi to everyone. And again, the stealthiest monster on the planet until the camera's on it, it's behind her trying to eat her all of a sudden and only
Yeah.
catches her coat. And I'm like,
Which I'm also a very oblivious person that doesn't pay attention to his surroundings at all. So I could totally see like walking into a house full of corpses and being like, "Where's everyone at?"
it's like, this is totally normal. I don't
Yeah, this
see
is
anything
perfectly
wrong
fine.
here. You should see my house. I have
Yeah.
corpses everywhere. But yeah, it catches you so off guard. They go Scooby Gang and try to run out of the room altogether. Then they all get separated, and I love this part. So they all, before the girl gets her head ripped off, it was probably one of the most funny things I'd ever seen. They all try to run out of the room, and the one guy makes it to his bedroom. The other two get cut off and end up having to go up to the attic. Well, before they get cut off, she goes, "Look out!" and then slams the bedroom door in their face
Yeah.
as they have to find another way
The
out. And
most
I'm like,
realistic, like every man for himself
I
moment.
looked at Jackie and I said, "That's you." She goes, "Oh, 100% that's me." "Look out!" Shut the door.
You're on your own,
"No,
Charlie.
this is my hiding hole. You can't fit in here."
You get your own hiding spot, damn it.
Like literally, we were all just in there, Jackie. Mine now. And you know what? That's why you get your head bit off because you were
Yeah, yeah. This
selfish.
is why you die, Jackie. I hope you're happy with your actions.
So the two like secondary characters we have, his friend and the new girl, run up to the attic, and apparently there's none of these little critters up in the attic at all. And I'm like, they're in the walls. Why are they not in the attic yet?
Contractor Charlie knows better.
Yeah, I was like, they're up there. And then our what you expect to be the hero, which is the older brother, the smart one, you're like, okay, he's gonna figure something out. No, he jumps out of the window. Did you see him accidentally hit his head on the
Oh
screen?
yeah, because like he was not a stunt double. They didn't have a permit for any of that, and that
No.
guy's not a professional actor. So they literally just said like, "You jump onto a roof. Also, the roof's gonna be super wet because we're gonna be having it rain on it, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
climb and move quickly."
so he opens
That
the
guy could have
window.
died.
He could have. He opens the window and there's those old aluminum screen frames. And he slides that up and he has to take like 3 steps back so he can jump head first through the opening. Well, when he jumps, the screen falls ever so slightly and you watch it dent
He's
as he goes
stormtroopers.
he stormtroopers out of it, and he's like, God bless him. He was like, "I'm still trying to act this, and we don't have a lot of money, and I got to do this in one take."
Yeah.
That camera doesn't cut. He
No,
jumps
not at
out,
all.
lands on the roof, and then runs around the roof
And
like
climbs it.
it's nothing. That parkour part he does, I'm sitting there going, I'm impressed.
Yeah,
He
oh yeah,
jumps,
definitely.
he like goes from window to corner to the other roof that is above him, and then runs across it and looks around the front of the house where the attic window is. And you're just like, that's a dude running on a wet ass
Yeah.
roof.
I'm
No
always
safety
terrified of getting on my
equipment.
own roof of just cleaning out the gutters. So I can't imagine running around while it's super wet.
I was impressed as hell. And they also have to show the fact that he sees his dead girlfriend laying in the yard without her head.
Yeah.
So he has to react to that. The other friends in the attic look out the window. They see the dead body. And then all of a sudden, the boyfriend comes running around and jumps in through that window. And I'm like, how did he do? Now that one wasn't shown from the outside, so obviously they had a ladder and he went in
Yeah.
that the safe way because there's no roof in front of the
But after you
window.
break one window, you end up having a lot of fun and want to break another window. That's just human nature.
How many they broke a lot of windows on this. They threw the
I'm telling
body
you,
out.
man,
That
you
was a
break a
broken
window,
window.
it's
Then he
fun.
jumps out the window. This is so wild. And then now the boyfriend has lost his damn mind. He is in shock. He's like, nope, none of this is real. This can't exist. Sci-fi is bullshit. And I don't believe it. I'm
Sci-fi as
going down.
proposers.
Yeah. I'm gonna go downstairs because there's no monster. And the other two are like, what is wrong with you? You're insane. And he tries to open the door where the monster's still sitting at,
Yeah,
waiting.
it just goes peekaboo.
Boo. And his buddy has to like wrestling move flip him across the attic to get him to knock off trying to run out the door. I was like, this is great. And then the monster comes busting into the attic, and we get our hero Charlie, who has devised a bomb with flash powder. Oh my god, the flash powder. I didn't We should talk a little bit about this.
Yeah,
How Charlie ignites the flash powder was terrifying and brilliant all at the same time.
because there's what, like, magnesium in
There's
that, right?
it's like low grade gunpowder. It's
Yeah, that's
very
kinda what I was gathering from it. It was like, this is
it's
gunpowder
more
that a child can get a
flash.
hold of.
Yeah, it's more flash than bang. Um, but he ignites it with a lamp cord stripped off at the end that he plugs into an outlet. And he did it earlier in the movie when he made the little one when he tried to scare his aunt. And so he makes the big one inside the head of a mask,
Mannequin head,
mannequin
and then
head,
puts a mask over the mannequin head and puts it on a stick.
and puts it on a ski pole stick.
Yeah, that's right, a
Again,
ski pole stick. That's very important,
bravo.
actually.
And so the wire is coming out of it, and he's using the stick like someone's head, and he's trying to goat the monster to eat him, and the monster's just like, "What's up, bro?" Literally just sits there like, "What's up?" And I'm
"You
sitting
want
there
some?
going,
You wanna go, bro?"
and I'm like, "The monster's blind, right? Does he remember they're blind?" Because I'm talking to Jackie. I was like, he knows it's blind." And then the camera does a shot from the creature's mouth,
Which
looking
is
at the
great.
head.
I love seeing the, like, first person mode because the way the camera is, you have teeth at the bottom and teeth at the top
And
on the screen.
they did it just for that shot because, spoiler alert, the monster's blind, so there would be no eyeball first person view
Yeah, there
from
would be nothing.
it would be darkness. But anyway, and so Charlie has been almost 100% silent since he saw his mom's head down in the basement. And then he gets the idea that I have to scream the loudest, most insane close up shot of his mouth scream I've ever seen on film. And the monster grabs the head, he shoves it as far as he can in there, grabs the cord, runs to the outlet, and it's too short.
It's too short, and he has to, like, dive onto the ground, and he starts tapping on the ground to get this creature to kinda wiggle at
You're
him.
missing my favorite part though. So first time he realizes it's too short, aha, I thought this through, and he had an extension cord in his back
Oh,
pocket.
yeah, that is true.
So while the monster's shaking the stick, he's trying to plug in the little lamp extension cord with another cord, and then it's 2 inches too short. And he
Yeah.
has to make the monster, because now he's like, oh, yeah, this dumb thing's blind. So I have to make a ton of noise. And then he plugs it in, and this thing blows up in fire and goo. And I'm like, Charlie's dead. That was a big
Oh,
explosion.
well, it even tries to psych you out because one of the 3 heads falls onto Charlie's, like, shoulder and starts to bite him
Yes.
first before the explosion.
Yeah.
So then, like, he's getting bit, and the big head, like, the main head that comes down to, kinda finish him off, and that's when he gets it plugged in.
Yeah.
Um,
But so that thing was like a foot from him,
yeah,
and it explodes like
and you
big
get
time.
blood, you get slime, you get chunks all over the
Char.
place.
And look, okay, this movie may have been made at the same time The Thing was, but that leftover creature, when they pan the camera over to it and it's on fire, almost looked exactly like the burnt creature on the operating table in The Thing, because it had that spindly dog arm that looked like the deer arms that are attached to this one.
Yeah, because like, you have, like, a tiny little fire, kinda like those tentacle arms that you're talking about,
Yeah.
just off to the side of it, and what's clear is like the remainings of the inside, I guess you could say, kind
Yeah,
of like
so it's like
piled up
hollowed
there.
out because it
Yeah.
it exploded, but it looks so much like the part where they flamethrower the creature when the head falls off of it and makes its
Yeah.
getaway. That creature that's left over and this one, I'm like, "Holy crap. That thing looks almost like the thing in that part." And I was like, because I was like you, I was like, "How close were these movies?" They had to be, like, really close on release time that they wasn't like, "Oh, we watched this movie and let's
No,
copy it."
it's so much of it just feels like it's pure coincidence.
Well, and I was also watching this going, it has a very Evil Dead, not so much feel, but just kind of the same, I don't know what the right word is, but I got these little glimpses of, oh, independent movie, this
It's
is
just
what
that
they
low
do.
budget charm.
I guess that, yeah, the charm. And then to find out that they came out the same time, the directors didn't know each other till the movies came out. I was like, that's kind of wild that there's
Yeah,
just
it
these
just happens
two.
to be the way our funny universe will work sometimes and operate.
And I want Ash versus the Deadly Spawn now. I think that would be awesome. I think we need to start a resurgence for this movie. I'm sorry. I fell in love with this movie. It
This is
is
something that deserves a remake fully.
it's so independent and so low budget, but so well done. Normally there's this thought with, oh, it's low budget, it's gonna be terrible. Oh, it's this, I can't watch that. And I'm watching this going, this is such a wonderfully done project, and the people cared, and they were creative, and they didn't where they spent the money was brilliant. So you know what? They didn't have actors. They had friends. So
Yep.
guess what? I can ignore the crappy dialogue or how someone delivered their lines. Guess what? They're not actors.
And it's
So
none of that
I'm
that
not expecting
bothered
that.
me at all. What's upsetting is the fact that Douglas McCallan never made anything else.
I
Because what
was
you see in this movie is potential of a man that could have made some great practical effects horror movies that would have been 80s classics and 90s classics, but I just do not know why he never went on. I don't know if he could never get the financing.
well, I'm the same as you. I mean, how did this guy not get tied in with, some of the others we've even talked about? Lloyd Kaufman with Trauma.
Yeah.
How did he not get tied
How
up
did
with
no one reach out to him like, "Hey, I saw this. I really dug it. Like, are you curious? Are you wanting to do something else? Do you want to do Deadly Spawn too?" And like, I tried looking him up online. I was like, this dude's done nothing. I bet I could find him on Instagram and shoot him a message and just ask him a couple questions real quick. Couldn't find anything. I was like, damn, like I probably have to do a little bit more digging and find email or something, but
you know me, I support you on doing all that stuff because I would love to talk to him. But I think the one thing I didn't know till you told me was that where this never got a VHS release, my guess is it's running the theaters aside from maybe some hole in the wall 25-cent theaters that
it
maybe
just got
had a
forgotten
copy.
about.
It literally got forgot. It
Like
got put
it's
on a
just
shelf and
literally got
forgotten.
lost in time. Um,
Which is
but
why not everyone knows there's a sequel. So let's talk
yes,
about the sequel for a second.
and the sequel is all producer Ted Bohos, the one that seems to be
Yeah.
clashing with all the other creators. He, what would you say? Like he got to make it for what, couple million?
Yeah, I think it was only a couple million, and he started it in the late 80s, like 87 or 88, something like that. And it
And then
didn't get released till like 91.
and the other studio is just like, well, because we're throwing some millions towards this, we don't want it associated at all with the original, which is so
Right.
weird.
Well, it's because no one knew about it. I mean, now it actually clicks and makes sense. Why would you want a sequel to a movie no one saw?
Yeah,
It's kind of like how we got the Road Warrior,
I was
Mad
gonna say
Max
it's
Part
exactly like
2.
Road Warrior because no one had seen Mad Max yet. It hadn't came to the states yet.
Yeah, so we didn't know what Mad Max was, but you give us a movie called Road Warrior, now it's like, "Oh, there was a movie before this? I wanna watch it."
Yeah. If you
So
would called
the
it Mad Max 2, we're like, where was 1?
You're right, and that's kinda what I think they did. So the other one was called Metamorphosis. Um, I wanna say, like, The Alien Factor or something like that on some releases.
It probably had 19 different names just like this movie did.
Overseas, there were a couple of countries that ended up with Metamorphosis: The Deadly Spawn 2. So did it was kind of this unofficial official sequel to this movie. And they still tried to do the whole stop motion mixed in with some of the very early cheap CGI. I'm on a mission to get this movie. I want to watch it now. Just to say I have seen it because this movie surprised the hell out of me. Why
Well,
not give that one a chance?
this movie's on YouTube, so maybe that movie is on YouTube as well.
So we'll start looking. So yeah, I'll have to
Yeah.
remember to put that out there in the group that if you guys want to watch the Deadly Spawn, there's actually a HD almost Blu-ray quality rip
Oh
on
yeah.
YouTube.
We'll put up the
Um,
trailer. We'll put up the damn movie in the group.
yeah, screw it. We'll do a watch party with this thing, man.
Yeah.
I again, I know I've said it and I've said it and I've said it, but I literally fell in love with this movie. I smiled the entire time I watched it. I loved everything they did. Tom Hiddleston ends up in the movie. He's one of the doctors, or Tim Hiddleston, the artist. He ends up in the movie. He's one of the doctors at the end that's checking everyone,
Yeah,
which
because like
I loved how they rushed the dead body out of the house as if there was a chance to save him because they take the uncle's body out and they're like, "Oh yeah, hurry up!" And they're strapping him down and they throw him in the ambulance and that ambulance takes off like a shot. And I'm like, "That one's dead."
yeah, he is very dead. You might as well like find the headless woman and try to decide that you can bring her back too.
Yeah, or half of the electrician. Well, before we get too far, though, I think we need to explain to everyone how they stopped the spawn, which I found so simple and so satisfying. Is we can burn them and electrocute them, and the entire town comes together and
With
goes
cattle
on
prods.
a slug hunt. And I'm talking everyone. There's just randos everywhere, walk kicking grass clumps and shoving a cattle prod in there, and then a spawn would jump up out. And so they have this big bonfire and they're burning all of the dead bodies and the spawn. They have the big ones already dead. They're finding like, oh, I found a 3-footer. That's nothing. I found an 8-footer. All this
Yeah,
other
like
stuff.
they're
The
bragging
cops are
about how big of one they found.
and it gets dark. Like they're on the last like walkthrough trying to make sure they got everything. And these two cops are on the walkie talkies. And I have to talk about this because I started at the beginning with this part. And the cop stops and the ground starts shaking. And he's trying to radio back to the guy he was just talking to. And you hear screams, you hear all this chaos, and the camera kind of shakes a little bit. And then we get the shot again of the model house from the beginning of the movie. And it's
Yes.
straight model built in a studio. And the mountain behind the house starts moving, and it is a giant spawn.
Which is so 60s monster movie of there was
I
still one big baddie left.
I went, that's why that shot was there. And thank you for that.
Because you think this
I
entire like
loved
hilltop
it.
is just scenery. It's like, nope, that's actually a spawn.
It's a spawn that came out of there and had been growing the whole time from the meteor. And if I would have clapped and Jackie wouldn't have laughed at me, I would have clapped because I was like, that is what I wanted the ending to be. Not I didn't want a little spawn sneaking away, which is what you expected. One little one got
Yeah,
away.
like a little slug got away.
Nope, this thing's bigger than a house. It's the mountain size spawn, and it just raises up, and the dirt and the way they did it. If this was also in the behind the scenes, no audio, was there's three guys on the backside of the mountain, and they have buckets of dirt that they're throwing up in the air as its head raises
Oh,
up, so
that's
it
so
looks like
awesome.
it's bursting through. And when the shot's done, the 3 guys stand up, so you get this scale of the set, and I'm like, I want that. I'm gonna get it as a screenshot after we release this. I wanna put that screenshot in
Oh,
the
that's
group
sweet.
because I just picture myself, like, if I had taken the time to make a movie at this time and I had just enough information to be dangerous, I read some articles, maybe I worked on another set for a weekend or something and I went, "Oh, that's how they do that. Oh, I can do that. I can make that happen."
And
And
that's what's funny,
just did
like,
it.
that's what these guys did, and then as learning their story, it reminded me of Bobby and James on The Witch House, like, those guys took 3 years to make The Witch House.
That was
Those
exactly
guys
what I was
shot on the
doing.
weekend. Those guys worked with what they had, and it's like, all this is showing to me that indie filmmaking is still very, guerrilla warfare almost when it comes to making it, like, you just gotta
Well,
go in and do it and see what happens.
if you don't have a studio throwing millions of dollars at you, but you want to make a movie, you work with what you got. I mean, it's like you said. I mean, and I gotta say, $25 to $32,000 in 1980.
Yeah,
That's what my parents paid for their house.
it's insane.
Put that in perspective, man. That's probably $200,000 now. Which, when you're talking a movie, that's nothing money. So it's still almost considered independent level.
Oh, yeah, that's still
You know,
absolutely nothing. Even if you got $1,000,000, it's absolutely nothing. But
I
even
I
like,
could only hope I could have done what they did for 25,000 now, using actual props and
yeah,
things like that.
and even Douglas McCowan had said, like you said, he knew just enough to be dangerous, just enough to
Yeah,
kind of, like, put this together.
and I agree with you. I was watching this movie and I'm picturing Bobby and James, and I'm picturing Bobby going, "Let's do that. Yeah, we can do it." And James being the one like, "I don't think that's going to work." You
Yeah,
see that in this movie, and there's scenes where, okay, we can't film the creature doing this, so they did it in shadow, or let's just spray blood on the wall and make this dramatic shot.
it's all
And
about
all it is,
perspective.
yeah, and all it is a guy shining a light on the wall and another guy with a bucket,
Yeah.
splash, water, or blood. And then in the movie, you're just like, "Yep, that lady got her throat ripped out. Look, that's jugular spray." It worked. I think this movie was probably a little bit ahead of its time for what the audience was ready to consume, even in 50, what'd you say, 50 theaters?
Yeah, only 50 theaters, and it was just the, tri-state area.
So that's super local. It's no
Yeah.
wonder no one picked up on this, man.
No.
This had to be like, if anyone had a copy, it was like, this guy has a bootleg camcorder recording from a weird theater that
Honestly,
played it one
probably
day.
someone that, like, brought in the old big ass, where the
Reel to
VCR
reel.
tape is in the camcorder and just
Oh,
sat there and
those kind,
recorded
the
the movie.
giant ones, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie really would be a cult classic if more people would find out about it. This is still super unknown as far as I'm concerned in the movie. Like, we'll get a really good gauge once we release this on who and how many people go, "Oh, I know that one,"
What
or
if?
they'll be like, "What is that?"
What if the plot twist is, Charlie, we were the sci-fi posers and everyone knew about this movie
Stop it.
but us?
We're not sci-fi posers.
We're
Stop
not
it.
sci-fi
There's no
posers at all. Just
we're
shut up.
no way, man.
Don't
I got
stop.
I got sci-fi stuff in my room,
I'm
man.
not gonna
That's
eat the narc puck.
nope. Nope, nope. No. No, we're not posers. We're poser podcasters, but we're not posers in
Yeah,
sci-fi.
yeah. Get it right.
Yeah. Get it right, man. That's not how we roll here. This is just like Aliens and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This, yeah. And if you don't watch this, screw you.
Yeah. Go watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah. Go watch E.T., you
Yeah.
posers.
Men in Black 3.
There's some good parts in Men in Black 3.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I like the Men in Black
I
3.
actually
I
kind of
didn't
enjoyed
watch
it.
International, though.
Yeah, here did I.
All right, I don't feel so bad. See, we're not posers. If
Yeah.
neither one of us watched it, we're like, no, we're not falling for you, corporate media,
We don't
trying
go
to
for your trends.
cram another Hemsworth down my throat. No, thank you, corporate media. Not happening, corpos. You're welcome, Mark and Cody. Little inside joke for everyone. All right, man. Let's do our things. I think we've talked about this movie.
I
I've
think
gushed
we've
about it
gotten
enough.
everything out that we can.
Everyone go watch it. I love it. I love it. I fell in love with this movie. I'm so happy I bought it. I don't care it's free on YouTube. I still probably would have bought the DVD. Um, this is actually going to end up in my rotation of I can't wait for me to sit down and watch it with Anthony.
Oh, there
And
you go.
and honestly, other than the gore, there's only like boobs at the very beginning of the movie
Ah,
with the
they're covered. That
mom.
barely counts.
They're covered with see-through. So they're there. Um, but other than that, there's like one F bomb which you heard in the trailer, and they did the weirdest beep over top. That was not me. I
No,
didn't
they
edit that. That was in the trailer. So yeah, there's not a ton of language in this. It is just gory, gory goodness. But speaking of gory, gory goodness, I think it's time for our rating blood. So I think if you don't have a giant budget that can afford like hundreds of gallons of blood, you use the blood smartly. And this movie does. It's very well placed gore. They use their budget wisely in this. And because of that, we only have a body count of 6.
Ooh.
6 people die in this movie.
Now, I did a little tally with each death,
Uh-huh.
and I got 7.
What's your 7th one?
The Spawn.
See, therein lies what could possibly be an asterisk because you know what? If we count the spawn, we have to count all the little spawns,
Oh, no, 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 not doing that.
which is why I usually don't count, especially in creature movies. You know, like, do we count Jason if we ever did a Jason movie to die at the end because he technically didn't die? He's
I
kind of in
mean,
our
I think you
dead,
count him,
dead,
but then you start out the next movie at -1.
I guess. No, and then everyone will have heard that Dan and I have a conversation about we have our very first re-alive. So we have a new category. We have
Huh.
dead, we have dead, and we have re-alive.
Oh, I know
Um,
exactly what the real life is now, and I haven't even heard the episode yet.
yeah, because you know the movie we did. Well, everyone's already heard it. So we did Die Hard, and Carl at the end dies supposedly, but comes back again at the end to exact
Yes.
vengeance on John McClane, and Al has to shoot him with a revolver like 3 or 4 times. Then he's dead. So Carl got re-alived
Realized.
before he was dead. But no, there's 6 kills, not counting Mother Spawn. Like I said, you have to count. I think
Okay.
all of the spawns had the potential to be a Mother Spawn if you really think about it. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
kept getting bigger. So Mother Spawn just grew a lot faster than the other little buggers did. So that was kind of impressive. But nope, 6. We'll give Nate the asterisk this week for the Mother Spawn. And does that mean the one in the mountain is the Papa Spawn?
Yeah, that's definitely Papa Spawn, the
And we're not
Reckoning.
talking McFarlane here. We're talking alien spawns, not Al Simmons. So, again, we're not posers. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Would a
not
poser
posers.
know about Al Simmons' Spawn? Maybe, because
Huh?
maybe they
Come at
are. But
us.
yeah. Sup, bro. Don't do it. Knock you out. I don't know. We're rambling
You
now.
want some of this?
You want to go, bro? Let's go, bro. We'll dance, you corpos.
Be dancing
So
all night.
that's right. Let's rate this bad boy.
Guys, It's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Whew.
Nate, I want you to go first.
All right, I'm ready to upset you with this one.
Go ahead and upset me.
I know. I'm giving
Oh,
in this one a 5 machetes out of 10.
that doesn't upset me.
Okay.
That doesn't upset me.
I after this movie was over and talking to Hannah about it, I was just like, man, there's it's not a cult movie because it's just missing that final like oomph. Like Dead Alive being a cult movie, Evil Dead 2, these movies all have a certain charm to them throughout the whole thing.
They
This
also
one
got a
didn't.
release.
This one didn't have characters that stick out to you whatsoever. Like I said, the main hero is like just left in the basement for half the time. And then finding out that the movie didn't really have a script and they were kind of working on it on the fly, I can forgive it. I definitely
Mm.
can. We've already gushed enough about the kills that they're all wonderful. It's just one of those like, for this being a starter film for a filmmaker, I wish I could have seen more from him. And
Yeah.
this was a good stepping stone for what could have been. And it's kind of sad that we'll never get that. And even the fact that none of the actors were inspired to the, you know what, hey, I like doing that. Like maybe I want to learn the tools of the trade and make my splatter film. Because this has a lot of fun splatter to it. Um, it's just I feel like there is part of a reason why we don't have it in the same vein with all these other classics, and it's not its full fault. It's just one of those like I left it enjoying it, not enjoying it as much as I thought I was going to.
Hmm. Okay. No, I'm not disappointed completely with that argument. Explanation more art than argument. But so in what I've learned from you of the release, I get why this movie's forgotten about, but had it got the same release as those movies like the Evil Dead movies, Dead Alive, all this stuff, I feel like this one could have gotten the legs to become a cult classic because believe me, there are movies that are considered cult classics that we watch now going, why does anyone like this movie? You know, there is literally a cult classic of what's considered probably the worst movie ever made, and that's Troll 2, you know, but it's popular to hate the movie, which makes it a cult classic. I th- I feel just because of what I felt watching this movie, I'm sitting there going, why is there not a following? Why is there not a fan club? Why is this so obscure? I didn't know about it. I never saw a VHS cover. Now we know why. I would have rented that movie. Why did it not get on VHS? Why did someone not pick that? You telling me Kaufman could not have picked this up for $10,000?
Yeah, easily.
$10,000 for distribution rights on this, and they would have jumped all over it
And here's
because
one of
it
the other
probably
things
would have broke
too.
them even.
This obviously it's free on YouTube.
Yeah, it's free.
That means
Watch
you
it
have
on
to
YouTube.
seek it out. That's not something that's popping up in your recommended on YouTube or
Nope.
because you watch so and so.
Nope.
Unlike Hulu, unlike Netflix, Amazon Prime, where when one of those like 80s movies gets to the streaming part, the way the algorithms work to kind of bring this to your attention. This isn't streaming on anything.
Because you watch this, you may also like this. So it
Yeah.
doesn't. So I found this movie because I was looking for images of From Beyond. I was looking at the movie posters because I knew there was the crappy one that we all passed over when it was sitting in the VHS store, and I wanted a little bit better one for our distribution when we talk about the movie. And this picture of an alien that kind of reminded, it was very reminiscent to me of like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, where you
Yes,
had
it
the
definitely is.
yeah. So I'm looking at that going, what is this? And I click on it and it tells me it's this movie. And then I find the synopsis.
did it, and I can buy it on Amazon for dirt cheap. And I bought it and the Blob. I bought the Scream Factory Blob at the same time. I was in a ooey gooey mood because I was watching From
What better way to
Beyond.
have ooey
Yeah,
gooey?
we love the ooey gooey here. It's probably our favorite genre. So I found it, and we had literally been sitting on the how long?
Probably 2 months we've been sitting on this.
From Beyond was our second episode.
That was back in October.
Yeah. So we bought this after that episode, and we both been sitting on it, just kind of being like, do you want to do it now? No, we got all this stuff coming up for Christmas or Thanksgiving, and then we had the interview, and so finally I was like, we need something for the end of the year.
Let's cap
Let
off the year with this.
because we've done werewolf, vampire, alternate dimension, witches, all these other things. I was like, let's do Alien. Let's do an Alien movie, and we own it already. Let's do it. We don't have to search it. And I know I got to be rating this movie, but I really, really, really want people to watch this movie, especially if you're a fan of the old school monster movies, the old King Kongs, the old It Came From Beyond, the old Thing, not the John Carpenter John Carpenter's is a remake. There's an older movie called The Thing. Tarantula, The Spider, all these old school 50s movies. Watch this one. You will love what they worked with. Um, and because of that, I'm rating this a 6.5. And that's mostly for the effects. I am forgiving the acting because these are not actors. These are friends that they knew that just saw it through to the end. Even so much that the girl that was supposed to survive was like, I can't stay, kill me off. And she was all for that. You know, eh, Bravo to everyone that pushed and persevered for 3, 4 years to get this thing out. Um, but the effects, the guys that figured out how to make this work on camera and literally made me go, wow, I love how they did that. That is so cool and so simple, but effective. I'm giving it a 6.5. That's that's high for this movie. This is an independent movie at 6.5.
Yeah, it really is. So I mean, you made a sound logical argument.
And that's fine. And and again, art is in the eye of the beholder. There's going to be a lot of people that watch this movie going, this was dog shit. Why did you tell me to watch this movie? This is horrible. And for that, I'm sorry you're like that, sci-fi poser. Um,
Yeah, you dork.
yeah. I really think
You're a real
though
butthole.
that if you can look aside from the $1 million budgets, and look, let's be honest here. A lot of our favorite horror movies and even their franchises didn't really work with a lot of money when they would do them. Maybe 5 million, 10 million
I say,
when
yeah,
they would
most of
first
them, especially back then,
when they
it,
started. There
and
was
even
not
now,
huge
it's
budgets.
still keep the budget low. That way, you can make a ton. That's Blumhouse's whole thing is
Yeah,
how can you make a movie for under 5 million, and they're cranking out $100 million profits. So
right.
Blumhouse is a genius on
They're
how he
not
markets.
they're not trying to do the Disney route where we throw $700 million so we can make 1 billion. They're going, let's throw a couple million at this and come out with 60, 70 million.
Because even if it just makes 10 million over opening weekend, it's still a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the things in the last episode I was talking to Dan was we always get the numbers of what the budget was and what the block, the take in during its run in the theaters. I would love for somehow to find out what some of these more popular movies have actually made to date.
With
Like
their video sales and stuff.
video sales, streaming,
Um,
syndication,
yeah, I was gonna
you
say
know,
syndication,
there's
HBO deals, all the ways that they find a different audience on top of
yeah,
overseas as well.
licensing the property, for other things that aren't movies. There's so much more money that could be made on. And honestly, I think maybe they kind of just got down on themselves, everyone that made the Deadly Spawn, and because it didn't wow the right people, because I would hope in 50 theaters you called a few people to say, "Hey, come watch this movie,"
Oh yeah, definitely.
in hopes of doing it, and it fell on deaf ears. And again, it was stretched out. It looked like shit probably. And I mean, look, Synops did it, so that means they saw some glimmer of hope to take it from film to DVD. So everyone needs to watch it. Everybody should watch it. Write a review, something. I don't think I'm going to sleep on this movie anymore. I think I may spearhead this whole the Spawn fandom here and try to get people to remember it.
I'm gonna
I think
make a
that's
movement happen.
I'm making a movement. You know, small, but it's my movement. Damn it! I love this movie. That's all I can say about it. I rate it 6.5. I would love to give it 10. In my heart, it's a 10. In reality, it's a 6.5. Um, yeah, I'll quit yammering about it. I loved it.
No, I
What
think you're right. I
I
think you
don't
made
know.
some good points. I
Nate's sitting
stand
there
by
like
what
he
I
feels
said.
he's standing by it, but he's like, "Damn it, Charlie, I feel bad now." I feel like
Yeah.
because Nate probably feels like he
Now I
blindsided me
feel like I
because
bullied it a little bit.
I watched this and I looked at Jackie and I said, "Oh, I can't wait to hear what Nate has to say." Nate had to have loved this movie. It had everything we love, and then Nate gets on here and he's like, "Eh." I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch."
At least I didn't Tutanka it.
No, we didn't get it. I give this movie a 2. No, we're not getting any of that on this one.
No.
And if everyone heard our Christmas Eve Christmas special, everyone should be in on that joke by now.
Yes.
So, and if you haven't checked it out, go back. It came out on Christmas Eve. You should, if you're subscribed, it should have auto downloaded, so you should have it. So, little plug there. Let's do some housekeeping, Nate.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank everybody for sitting through us yammering about a movie no one has probably ever heard of. Half of you probably won't go watch, and they'll be like, "Nope, we feel like we've seen it because we heard you fall in love with it." And Charlie's in the back somewhere with a replica Spawn, just petting it and saying, "It's okay, I still love you," and that's okay.
I take care of you. I keep you warm. I put you in my pocket.
That's right. You're my friend, and I will name you George. Um, So thank you everyone for that. Don't forget we are on Facebook with Give Me Back My Horror Movies, Give Me Back My Action Movies. We are on Instagram under the same Give Me Back. We have the Give Me Back My Podcast Network, which is comprised of myself and Nate for the horror show, myself and Dan on the action. We have Monster Movie Stomp Down with Sludgecast. We have Good Beer Bad Movie Night. We have live and in color with Wolfie D. And we have the new show starting at the beginning of the year, Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling. So all you wrestling fans out there, we know you're there. If you love these type of movies, you usually like wrestling too. So we had some fans in the network and we decided to make a show about it. So hopefully you'll enjoy that and check it out soon. Um, Special thanks to Poster Smash and Bobby and James again that did the Witch House interview. Go check them out on Instagram under Poster Smash. They're always concocting new things, and I do believe I saw some new ones trickling in here over the past few days. So check them out. If you want to email us, reach out to us. It is gmbmam at pod at gmail.com. Special thanks to Mountain Empire Comics in Bristol, Tennessee, and Johnson City, Tennessee. Diana and Rob run those stores. Am I forgetting anybody? I'm still learning how to do this house cleaning part. Do you
I
have
think
anyone you
we
want to say
got it
about this?
all. Uh,
Okay, who's on your list today?
I wanted to say thank you to Far Out Designs. They are located up in Cleveland, I believe. I met them at the Krampus Market, which, if you listen to our Krampus episode, I mentioned about it. I picked up some stickers from them, and I want to give a shout out to Killer Culture Shop. I had bought a John Wayne Gacy replica of his Pogo the Clown portrait that now sits on my desk. So their slogan is evil, awful, offensive, which is very much what they gathered. I'll make sure to post stuff on them on my Instagram at Dr. Decky with the stickers and stuff that I've bought from them. And
I
I
don't
think
know
that's
how to
all I've got.
feel about you having artwork from a serial killer.
I hate serial killers too, but I am just in awe over Pogo the Clown. There's
And
something
it's a
about him so
clown.
terrifying. Yeah, that's the other thing for you though. You hate clowns.
So it's like nothing of what you just said makes me excited.
Yeah, everything is just doom and gloom.
And I don't like any of that right there. Not to disparage the company, because you know what? Make your buck. That's fine. But serial killer art and it's a clown. I am out. No.
Deuces.
Yeah. Deuces. I'm out. Awesome, brother. Well, I think we're good to go for this episode. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll be starting up a brand new year after this.
Yes, Happy
And
New Year.
Happy New Year. Everybody be safe, drink responsibly, don't
Use Uber,
drive,
call a friend,
Uber, drink at home, it's cheaper.
Lyft. It's so much cheaper, less
Yeah.
people.
But we want you to stick around because we'll have a lot more episodes coming next year. Hopefully some cool things coming down the pipe
Yeah, and
for
I'm
the
really freaking
shows.
excited for the next episode.
Yes, we are going to have some fun. So, Nate, why don't you give us the good word?
Groovy.
Hail to the king, baby.